Hi, my name is Suwino. I do videos around cooking, farming, and homesteading in general. If this is the kind of content that interests you, kindly click the subscribe button for more videos. We started our day bright and early, full of excitement, heading out to pick the first materials for our simple home. There is something so beautiful about watching a dream begin to take shape with every small step.
So we are going to put these three branches that are going to help us at the site. And we are still thinking about these round poles
Where are we?
in Kibera.
Our first stop was in Kibera to collect fito. These are thin, straight sticks that are very important in traditional wall construction. We had looked for them near the site, but they just weren't available. So we came all the way here because Kibera is known for having them in plenty. As the guys help us choose and set aside the fito, I want to throw this to you. Based on the materials you're collecting today, what kind of house do you think we're putting together? Don't overthink it. I know I told you it's a simple house. Just drop your guess in the comments. Is it a little countryside getaway, a traditional homestead, or something completely unexpected? I can't wait to see what you think we are up to. After collecting the fito, we moved on to select a few untreated round poles. These are the raw, natural poles we'll use for various structural parts of the house, like supporting the wall plate and forming the base of the roof. Once we were done selecting everything, the canter which had arrived earlier and was waiting patiently was ready for loading. I really appreciated how the driver and his team just let us take our time without rushing, even though they had been there for a while. That kind of calm energy goes a long way when you're trying to manage so many moving parts in a day. You'll notice in the video, we began by loading the features first, those slimmer, straight pieces that are great for light structural support, before moving on to the untreated round poles. The team at the yard worked hand in hand to get everything loaded with care and efficiency. Watching them coordinate so smoothly reminded me that even a simple home takes a village. Every hand and every effort counts. With the truck fully packed and everyone satisfied, it was finally time to head to our second location to collect more materials. And let me just say, the day had only just begun.
So we finished with picking these round poles, small trees, back to the canter. Now we are on to the next location.
Once we arrived at the second location, I got straight to work. I honestly didn't realize just how much work was waiting until I got there. We had already informed the makuti guys that we were coming, and when we got there, we found that they had already started counting and setting aside the makuti bundles. Each bundle had about 10 pieces, and they kept on counting and counting just to make sure everything was in order. You know how things can go in such a busy business when you're buying in bulk. It's always safer to double check because sometimes a few bundles might be less. But the bundles were so many. Luckily, my husband and the makuti guys came to an agreement that made things smoother. I honestly don't know what I would have done without my husband. He makes work easy every time. It's like he has a solution to everything. Meanwhile, the canter had gone to pick more materials with our makuti roofing fundi, my husband, and the architect. From there, they bought things like nails, binding wire, rafters, wall plate poles, sisal ropes, and a few other things that I'll talk about in a future video. Since we have now started on the construction journey officially, what are some of the videos you'd want me to do based on what I have experienced and also what I am yet to experience? Will you want me to finish the whole project and share with you some do's and don'ts from our project? Or rather, you guys can tell me what we should be more keen on during this journey. When they came back, it was time to load the makuti into the canter. Honestly, we were shocked by how much load there was. We even joked that if it didn't fit, we'd have to find another way to transport it. But this is where experience really shows. We stepped back and let the makuti guys do their thing. They understand how to stack and balance it well. It took time, way more than we expected, but eventually everything fit perfectly. Since time wasn't really on our side, we decided to help the makuti guys with moving the bundles from the ground to the canter, just to speed things up. It made the whole process easier, and honestly, every extra hand really did count at this point. As the makuti guys continued loading, I found myself just observing for a moment. Their coordination was something else, like each of them already knew the next person's move. Years of experience, no doubt. And it reminded me building a home isn't just about materials, it's about the people, the pace, and the stories behind every task. It got me thinking, how do most people begin their building journey? Have you ever heard of a Simba? It's that small, simple house traditionally built before the main home, often by young men starting life on their own. Some people begin there, others start with a mabati room or a one-room structure while saving and building slowly over time. Maybe yours was different. Let us know down in the comments below. What was your first structure like? Was it something temporary that grew with you? Or are you just now dreaming and planning your start? I'd love to know how your journey began. And if you haven't started yet, how do you imagine it? Will you do it like us, moving around, picking the best prizes, getting hands on? This moment made me realize that every little task we do now is part of a bigger memory we'll carry for years to come. By the time we were done, it was already 6 in the evening. This whole process taught me patience. We had planned everything, thinking it would be a quick in and out, pick things from Kibera, move to the next location, and finish. But delays came up, and time really flew. Moving the makutis from the store to the parking area and then onto the canter, that alone took a lot of energy. But you know what? You can plan your day perfectly, but at the end of it all, it's God who takes the lead. Finally, we were done loading the makuti and the canter left for the site. By the time we got to the site, it was already dark, but we had to be there during the offloading. We got some guys from the village to help us unload everything. It took another hour and a half, but we managed. We even secured a really good place for the makuti because we knew work will start early the next morning. That night, the cold hit different. You know that kind of cold that just seeps through your clothes and settles into your bones? That's exactly what we were feeling by the time we got back to the site. But what warmed my heart most was how the village men came through for us. Despite the cold and the late hour, they showed up ready to help us offload. No complaints, no delays, just pure community spirit. And it made me wonder, for those of you who have ever built before, how was your first day of bringing materials to your site? Were you there in person like us, loading, moving, sweating? Or did you just make a call and everything was delivered? Let me know in the comments. I'd really love to hear your stories because these moments, small as they seem, are what builds the heart of a home. So that's it for today's video. Buying and transporting materials as we begin building our simple home. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What picture comes to mind when you imagine this house? What would you have done differently? Feel free to ask questions and I'll definitely try to answer them in an upcoming video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. Bye. We shall try again tomorrow.